Biology, chapter 4 notes, part 2. We left off talking about reproductive patterns, how individuals in a population or a population either is a R strategy, reproductive pattern, or a K strategy. Humans, other mammals are K strategy, small insects, fish, things like that are R strategy. All right. Human population growth. So the study of human population size, density, how humans are distributed, the movement of humans, and birth and death rates is called demography. This is a graph that shows time or years in the population in billions. So here we got this old Stone Age farming begins, and we can see growth rate up here. New Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age. Here's the Middle Ages. We can also see some big advances in technology when they happen on the graph and how it correlates to population growth. So here, just look at 1000 BC. We see that the population growth humans is steadily increasing right here. In the Middle Ages, that bubonic plague that I mentioned killed off a lot of people. That's where we see that little dip right there. It seems like a small dip, but it was a good chunk of people that saw major effects in human population numbers. And then we see something very monumental, Industrial Revolution, happened that allowed more people to be fed faster, for example, more jobs, more opportunity. The big advances were in agriculture. And we see population and humans continually rise exponentially. Okay. So why the exponential growth then? Environmental conditions before that kept human population at a relatively constant number or below carrying capacity. But we saw that large jump, right? Way down here to way up here. Why? Many advances. We've learned how to alter our environment to overcome some factors or to make our carrying capacity or to make us live longer, make it more easy to give birth, things like that. So agriculture advances, domestication of animals, medicine, improvements to shelter, all of these things have allowed humans to live longer, which increases the population numbers. Although the human population continues to grow, the growth rate actually is slowing according to this graph, percent increase. So comparatively, every year, our percentage of growth is actually going down. Countries in their growth rates do differ. And this is due to those countries' economies. Or we see a commonality if a country has a similar economy to another country. Their growth rate usually trends the same way. So here are different countries. We see Afghanistan, Brazil, Bulgaria, Germany, etc., Honduras, Nigeria. And then we see the growth rate percent-wise. So United States is right here. Where are we on the left? 0.92. That's our growth rate. So our growth rate's relatively low on the graph. Bulgaria is actually decreasing in growth. Germany's at 0, which means it's not growing, it's not decreasing. Afghanistan is increasing at a faster growth rate. Okay. There's something what's called a demographic transition in different countries where they go from a high birth and death rates, so a lot of babies being born, a lot of people dying earlier, to a low birth rate and low death rates. And America's in that right now. We don't have as many births compared to other countries, and our death rates are lower because we have better access to medicine. Okay. Zero population growth or ZPG, occurs when birth and immigration, okay, so that would increase population numbers, birth and immigration, about equals death and immigration, so that would lower it. So when they're about equal, overall population growth is 0. When that happens, the age structure, meaning the amount of people in their 30s compared to people in their teens, etc., should be more balanced with numbers of pre-reproductive, so we're talking little kids, reproductive age, and post-reproductive age is approximately equal. And this creates another graph, which is called an age structure graph. A population's age structure, so we can look here, this is Kenya, this is the United States, and this is Germany. And these are actually pretty cool to look at. It divides it into ages, 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, that's you guys, right? Or 15 to 19, that's you too. 20 to 24, 25 to 29, all the way up. So the different ages are counted in different countries, along with the number of males and females in each one of those age categories. So this would be the pre-reproductive stage, so these individuals don't reproduce, or very minimally. The reproductive age, okay, capable of making more humans. And post-reproductive, women have gone through menopause, so they can't produce any more children. And it's interesting, Kenya is predicted to show rapid growth. Why? Look at all the numbers of individuals, males and females in the population in the pre-reproductive area compared to the United States, which is slow growth, and Germany, which is negative growth. Okay? So they can project population number increases based on this data, which is rather interesting to me. Also, it is very important, probably more so important for humans and or any kind of animal to count the number of females, because the females are the ones that carry the young. And if there's not enough females, it's going to be lower population growth. So this brings us to something interesting and controversial at the same time. Will there be a carrying capacity? Is there a carrying capacity for the number of humans that the Earth can support at a quality of, with a good quality of life? Scientists are very concerned about this, about the Earth, the humans on it exceeding the carrying capacity, meaning we won't have enough resources, we won't have enough space to maintain life. So that's, and then something to consider. What scientists look at is the impact that individual countries and the humans within them have on the biosphere and how much they're taking resource-wise. So here's countries estimated into hectares, which is a unit of measurement of land use. So use of resources, essentially. India is very low use of resources. Nigeria, Indonesia, Brazil, Germany, and USA is use a lot of natural resources and space comparatively to other countries. So that's the end of chapter 4.